Hi everybody, it's Anna back with Unearthed Arcana, and we are here again today with our third episode in this new Skyrim Wildlander modpack Let's Play series, following the adventures of Taniesi, aka Tani, our two-handed heavy armor Dunmer Spellblade lady. Just hanging out in Riverwood right now. Just like this child is staring at us. She's like, "Lady, you look kind of scary." Got this pile of dead wolves behind us as well. For today's episode, we're going to head up towards Whiterun and join the companions and do a few quests around there. But before we do that, I'm going to do a quick recap of what we've done so far. I'll talk a little bit about the Wildlander mod pack itself. I'll talk about our character's build and her inventory, and then we're going to do a little bit of mechanical stuff with these dead wolves right here because I want to introduce the Hunterborne mod, which is a really kind of essential Wildlander mod that we're going to use throughout the run. So if you want to skip all that and just kind of get to the gameplay action, there will be some sections down at the bottom. Feel free to do so. If you haven't played Wildlander before, this is one of those total immersion overhaul mod packs you can download via the Wabbajack tool. It's one of those pre-configured lists. It has like, I don't know, a few hundred mods that are come pre-configured to make the game look and sound better. It adds survival elements to the game, makes the game more immersive, makes combat harder. This is really the definitive way for me to enjoy Skyrim in 2025, so I really recommend you check it out. There's a very active Discord page. You can check out the subreddit or the very thorough wiki. You can go to the Wildlander website. Give it a try. Hope you enjoy it. If you've never played Wildlander before, this video series could be a good introduction to all of the ins and outs of why it's such a fun way to play Skyrim. And if you have played Wildlander before, whether you're new or a veteran, I hope this video series gives you insights into how to be successful in your own runs, particularly with a two-handed Spellblade style of character. As far as our run itself goes, we're using a permadeath run. I gotta move. I can't like just have this like little child staring at us with this like kind of neutrally sad expression on her face. She's probably sad that we murdered all these wolves. I just gotta move. I can't like keep looking at her. I'd rather have the horses and the wolves behind me. Anyway, as far as our run itself goes, this is a permadeath run. So if our character dies, that's the end of the run. It just makes more combat a little bit more exciting and dynamic for me. Definitely not required, though. You can play Wildlander without doing a permadeath run. I just think it's the most enjoyable way for me to play the game. We also have unpaused menus, so even though the menus are open, I can still control my character. Even if I was in first person, if I had a weapon out, I could still control my character and interact with the world, even with the menus being open. And then finally, we have no HUD on the screens. There's no health bars, there's no crosshair, enemy health bars don't show up. This makes the game a lot harder, but also much more visually appealing to watch and much more dynamic in combat. And that's kind of the core gameplay style for all of my runs. Permadeath, no HUD, and unpaused menus. If you download Wildlander, you can play permadeath just like by exercising self-discipline and not save scumming. And you can also disable the HUD courtesy of the X key on your keyboard. But if you want to play with unpaused menus, you'll have to download the Skyrim Souls mod and tweak some of the settings there. Let's do a little recap of what we've done so far. So in our first episode, our character started at the Helgen border crossing down here. Worked her way north from the bandit warlocks of South Fringe Sanctum, where we killed a few of those warlocks, and then we went over to Fort Neugrad. Cleared out the entire fort at level 1. Really kind of hectic and fun, chaotic fight right there. Got a bunch of loot. Moved over to the Falkreath Stormcloak camp, where we sold some of our spoils from Fort Neugrad, as well as did a little bit of basic smithing. Looted Helgen and all the leftover equipment that the Imperials left behind after fleeing Helgen when Alduin attacked, plus we killed some animals there. Then we headed over to this kind of like southern area around Lake Ilnata and like got a blessing of Talos from a shrine. We killed some bandits there. We killed some bandits in a little like outpost just south of Riverwood, and then we also cleared out Embershard Mine. And now we're back in Riverwood, and we have a bunch of items that we still have to sell. Plus we have some leftover items from our initial trip to Riverwood, which happened before we cleared out Embershard Mine. We have some of those items cached, and we still have to sell them. Then as far as our episode for today, we're going to head north from Riverwood. We're going to go to Whiterun. We'll do a few quick quests there. We'll join the companions. I'll introduce you all to Wildlander's blacksmith system, where you can pay blacksmiths to forge you equipment that otherwise you wouldn't be able to forge yourself. And then hopefully the companions will give us some quests that we can then set out from Whiterun and do on our own. If nothing else, even if the companions give us really boring quests, like if they give us one of those quests to just like beat someone up, we'll still be able to grab a horse from some Skooma dealers over here. And then we'll also grab that quest from that Redguard guy, Amren, who wants us to retrieve his sword from a bandit camp in the Whiterun Plains. So that's kind of the episode arc for today. As far as our character goes, let's just quickly go over her skills. So Taniesi the Spellblade, she's level 4. Spellblade just means that we're combining melee and magical abilities, like martial and magical abilities. And as far as Spellblade goes, we're using a two-handed focused build because I think two-handed is my favorite style. It hits really hard, and also means that we can kind of supplement our magical abilities with like a really hard-hitting frontline playstyle. Tani is about level 5 right now, and we've been maxing out her health in the early game, but we're also using Stone of the Steed, so she has a higher base stamina than we would ordinarily have. We're going to keep going with Restoration, but we haven't really leveled that up so far. We're also going to keep investing in Alteration, especially to grab the magic resistance perks. Magic resistance is really important for a permadeath character because a lot of the ways that you die in the mid-game in particular, honestly in the early game too, are when enemy mages blast you with really powerful adept or higher level spells, so magic resistance is a great way to insulate yourself from that. We're eventually going to get enchanting, but we're going to wait on that because we just don't have the money or the soul gems to support a big investment in enchanting yet. And we did grab this initial perk in smithing. I actually don't think that's optimal, like I was saying in the first episode where I built this character. I really think that you don't want this perk, it's better spent somewhere else. But I did it to keep these episodes moving, so that way I could smith some items on my own and not have to buy everything or rely on blacksmiths to create everything. Heavy armor, obviously essential for our heavy armor spellblade. We're likely going to get every perk in all of these trees. Right now, the big perk we got our eyes on, though, is Relentless Onslaught, which we'll get once we hit Heavy Armor 20. And then as a Spellblade, in order to cast spells in Heavy Armor without a huge Magicka penalty, we're going to need the perks on this side of the tree. So until we get these perks, it's going to be very difficult to cast spells in Heavy Armor, because it's going to cost too much Magicka. We'll eventually get these other two perks in block right here, but for now we just have improved blocking. Later on we'll get experience blocking and strong grip. And then for two-handed, we'll likely get almost all of the perks in this tree. We're definitely going to get Great Sword Focus, and we will likely also branch out into Warhammer Focus at some point. Warhammer Focus gives us the ability to not just use Warhammers, but also Battle Staffs. Battle Staffs have the same armor penetration and kind of like perk focus as Warhammers, but they swing much faster and deal a little bit less damage, so we'll probably use those in the late game, but for now we're just going to focus on great swords. Then we also have lock picking as well, so that way we can break into chests and doors and like use the lock picking experience from dungeons to level up and ensure that we're getting lots of gold. For speech, we will eventually invest in the dragon shout side of the speech tree, but we have to unlock that by killing a dragon first. And then we are going to get alchemy over time as well, because alchemy, in addition to poisons and potions being very powerful, eventually unlocks fortified muscles. And having a bonus 100 health and stamina is just so powerful in permadeath, keeps you alive a lot longer. Anyways, that's kind of it for Tani's build. And then as far as items go, we're still using a steel greatsword and a steel hunting knife. We'll use this hunting knife in a second to butcher these wolf carcasses over here. We did pick up this awesome steel furred cuirass at Fort Neugrad. Technically the armor rating is lower than the dwarven salvaged cuirass, but the dwarven salvaged cuirass only has a rank 3 ranged and a rank 2 blunt resistance. whereas the steel-furred cuirass has a rank 5 range and a rank 3 slash resistance. And honestly, in the early game, range damage is way scarier, so having a higher resistance is really valuable. And I generally don't really care about blunt resistance too much because blunt attacks tend to be pretty slow, so you can block them, dodge them, or bash interrupt them. Slash attacks tend to be very quick though, so you can't always block or bash or dodge those, so having extra resistance to slashing is really valuable. And then we have some other kind of random items here. We got this really nice ring of blocking while clearing out Ember Shard Mine. We also found these awesome Sure Grip light armor bracers on a dead Thalmor agent by a Shrine of Talos. We're going to use these for now, but as soon as we hit heavy armor 20, we're going to have to switch this out. And the reason for that is our Relentless Onslaught perk only works to its full extent if we're sprinting in a full set of heavy armor. And this 80% melee damage deflection is really important for staying mobile on the battlefield, so we'll switch that out once we hit level 20, but for now we're gonna just use these light armor bracers for the damage boost. Tons of random potions right here. Some of these we've looted, some of these we've crafted ourselves. Dunmer are able to make potions even without a perk in alchemy, whereas normally in Wildlander, if you don't have a perk in something, you're either not able to do it at all, or you do it with a huge penalty. So that's the nice thing about Dunmer, is they can craft potions in the early game even without any skill in alchemy. Got a few scrolls here. I'm probably going to sell most of these though. I got some food items. We'll grab more of those before we head out of Riverwood. Some alchemy ingredients here. I also have a few more alchemy ingredients stashed in a crate in town that I'll pick up. Got some skill books and a bunch of miscellaneous items that we'll likely sell today just to get a bit of extra money. And then a few keys from some of the places we've been so far. Okay, it's funny, Tani wasn't covered with blood when I started the episode, but it looks like the blood printing has appeared back after. Maybe this is why the girl was staring at us, is because we were probably quite bloody and it just hadn't registered as a visual effect yet. Okay, I had someone ring my doorbell, so I'm just going to pause the game and I will be right back. And we're back. Ah, got a little package delivered, that's nice. I always love when packages come at random times. It's like, yay, packages are here. Okay, back to Skyrim land though. So first thing we're going to do with this episode as far as mechanics goes, we're going to butcher these wolves and just kind of like talk about the Hunterborne mod. If you're already familiar with Hunterborne, feel free to skip ahead on this section. But if you want a refresher or just want to learn some little tips and tricks about it, feel free to listen in. So Hunterborne is one of the Wildlander standard mods. Pull it up in the MCM here. So as we clean animals, our skinning level and harvesting level goes up as we kind of like clean and butcher them. We can also forage for items as well, which is kind of just like forages in the overworld. It doesn't work in towns, but it does work in any kind of natural open area. And as you level these up, you gain access to higher levels of Hunterborne crafting. And Hunterborne crafting gives you some actually pretty decent items, particularly at level 1. So our goal right now in butchering and skinning these wolves is to make sure that we are leveling up harvesting and or skinning to level 1 as quickly as possible. So that way we can take full advantage of the Hunterborne crafting mechanics. It takes time to do Hunterborne, 70 minutes to dress a deer, and then 82 minutes to skin and harvest, 100 minutes to butcher. And then as you level up, so right now our level is really low, it's level 0, this will get a little bit lower over time, and eventually it'll be like, you know, an hour to do all this for a deer. You can disable this in the features tab by making it so it doesn't take time to do these things. Honestly, I don't love that. I feel like part of the challenge of using Hunterborne is being able to use it effectively in different weather climates. So like if I kill a bear or a troll up here in Dawnstar, I would love to butcher that animal and get the ingredients and the meat and stuff like that. But it's freezing outside, and maybe it's like middle of the night and it's in a blizzard. And if I turn the time multipliers off, I can just do that instantly without any penalty. And that's kind of like not the full Wildlander experience. Like the full Wildlander experience is, okay, if I killed a bear out here in the middle of the Dawnstar Tundra, I'd have to set up my tent, I'd have to build a fire, and then I would have to butcher the animal while I was tending to the fire. And that's kind of the survival experience that I think people expect when they play Wildlander, so I'm not going to disable those time multipliers. I think that's part of the game for me. But no shade on you if you end up deciding to get rid of those. So how it works is you just make sure you have a hunting knife in your inventory. If you have multiple hunting knives, Hunterborne will always use the best knife for the job. So if you have a good knife for skinning, but the knife is bad at harvesting, then you have a knife that's good at harvesting, but bad at skinning. If you have both in your inventory, Hunterborne will just pick the better knife for the job. First thing we're going to do is we're going to field dress the wolf, and you'll notice that like got a little darker right now because it took about over an hour to do that. I actually pulled up my HUD as well, so you can see in the lower left-hand corner it's 4:15 p.m. If I skin the wolf, now it is 5:50 p.m. And you can see the yields in the upper right corner, so we got a wolf pelt from that of a poor quality. Next thing is I'm going to butcher the meat, and then after that I'm going to harvest the ingredients. I like to butcher the meat before harvesting because if I can level up my harvesting skill from butchering, then the ingredient yield will be a little bit higher. And ingredients are really the thing that we're most interested in getting here, because our character is an alchemist, or at least will become more of an alchemist over the course of the game. And the only reason I'm leveling, or I'm skinning the animals as well, is because now that my skinning skill has improved, I'm Hunterborne level 1 in skinning, and now my harvesting skill is improved, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, it's just kind of a fail-safe that if you're skinning and harvesting, you're leveling them both up kind of like at a roughly equal rate. But as you see, this takes a lot of time in game. Like, it's probably been basically like 12 hours at this point in time. I'm not going to bother skinning this wolf, though. I'm really just concerned about the ingredients. One reason to continue to butcher the meat, though, even if you're only getting alchemy ingredients, is when you butcher meat, you also harvest animal fat. And animal fat's a really great ingredient. It creates some good potions, creates some good poisons, plus it just sells for a decent amount of money on its own. Yeah, like animal fat has a value of 29. Okay, let's see what our yields were. So we got a bunch of wolf's eyes and claws, got some canine teeth. We did not get any animal bone larges though, which is too bad. That's kind of the thing we most wanted, were animal bones large. So that's too bad. Maybe we'll grab those at a store. Anyway, because we have Hunterborne now leveled up, where our harvesting skill improved and our skinning skill improved, if we go to the survivalist skills tools, you'll see that we have many more options here that we can craft, including the bone of Hircine, as well as the bone of Julianos and the engraved bone of Kinnereth. These create, these are consumables that create buffs that last for, I don't really know how long. It says it's an hour, but it always feels like it's a lot longer. Hircine gives you a static bonus to stamina regeneration and frost resistance. Julianos is magicka resistance. I think it's shock resistance, I'm not sure. And then Kinnereth is health resistance, and then it's either health or then it's either fire or frost resistance. So for our Spellblade, we mostly will make bones of Hircine, but we might make Julianos bones later in the game. Anyways, that's kind of it for Hunterborne right now. Our character is weary though, because we like spent, 16 hours butchering wolves, and she's really tired. So we're going to have our character rest really quickly before we do anything else. So let's give her like a solid 10 hours of sleep right here, so that way the character will definitely be rested. Oh my god, lovely weather we're having right now, Jesus. And then we also have all this raw wolf meat in our inventory, so we might as well cook all of that up using the crafting menu, because we're near an open fire. I'll just have her eat all of that, drink a bunch of water, and kind of just make her a little bit happier that way. Then my character also... Oh, I guess Mammoth Tomato Stew is still active. That's neat. Okay, so last thing we're going to do in Riverwood before we head out of here is sell a bunch of our items. So we have items in our inventory that we need to sell. And then we also have some items that we cached over here in a crate that we need to sell as well. So let's go do that, and then we'll head out of Riverwood and head over to Whiterun. I feel like when I first started playing Wildlander, I was really worried about money, and I used to get the speech perk that like gives you an extra 1% buying price per level of speech. Oh no, Alvor is not out here. Ugh, that's super frustrating. We really needed Alvor out here so we could sell him stuff. Alright, well, I guess we'll go to the Riverwood Trader and just kind of sell what we can to the Riverwood Trader people, and then maybe Alvor will be back outside. It's not even that late. I feel like he's supposed to be out there till 8 p.m. That's kind of a bummer. I guess worst case scenarios, we'll just have to sell some stuff in Whiterun.
I said no. No adventures, no
We'll let these two kind of argue about the Golden Claw.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna really just prioritize selling the heavy stuff in my inventory. So that way, if I get to Whiterun, I can just sell some stuff there because they have a lot more merchants than Riverwood.
A bit of this.
I'm not going to worry about doing a lot of role playing with Lucan, but I am going to quickly check his inventory because sometimes he'll have like an Amulet of Zenithar, which improves our selling prices. I always like to see what they have in their stock before I sell anything. Honestly, none of this is very good. Ooh, he does have raw beef though. I am going to buy this raw beef. I guess not, actually. We're in the Whiterun area, so it's pretty easy to find beef stew. If we were not going to Whiterun, I would buy this raw beef, because raw beef can be used to make some beef stew, which is really essential for the early game. But because we're in an area where beef is pretty plentiful, I'm not going to worry about it. But I will buy this Soothe spellbook, because Soothe, for only 150 gold, helps us deal with exposure if our character gets too cold. Oh, nice. And Lucan actually has an animal bone large, so we'll buy that as well. We'll craft something from that in a second. Little trick that you can do to make a little bit of extra money. You can buy ruined books from a merchant for like 1 gold each and then sell them back to them as paper. I'm not going to do that here in the interest of time, but it is an option if you're strapped for cash. Okay, and then I'm going to sell all of my heavy stuff. So I'm going to sell like the cloak, the cuirass, I'll sell all this armor. What else do I have that's heavy in my inventory? Let's sell these wolf pelts. I think that's probably good for now. Like some of the stuff we're gonna use for crafting.
I better get back to cleaning.
And then I'm also gonna run outside really quickly because I cached some items outside of the Riverwood Trader in a previous episode because I was just trying to save on carry weight. Ugh, Alvor is still not here though, so we're just gonna have to keep selling stuff to Lucan. So let's go to this chest here and just like get all the really heavy items, like this wooden staff of firebolts is pretty heavy. The cuirass is heavy. These cloaks are pretty heavy, so I'll grab those as well. Just kind of like load up on heavier items here. Let's see if we can sell all of these to Lucan, and then hopefully we'll have enough carry weight in our inventory to get to Whiterun where we can sell the rest of this stuff in town where there's like a bigger economy.
Trinkets, odds and ends.
Not a big deal if we can't. Sell those two. Let's sell all these cloaks. I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be like... Ugh, we're not quite there. Okay, we were able to sell most things though, so I think we're actually in pretty good shape to get to Whiterun with the remaining gear. As a side note, I love that you can sell skooma to Lucan. Most of the time you cannot sell skooma to general merchants, but Lucan is an exception to that. I always like to headcanon that Lucan is secretly the skooma dealer for Riverwood. I don't know though, I guess he's got dealings with criminals. Maybe the reason those bandits broke in and knew about the claw is because like he was dealing skooma to them and they learned about the golden claw. I don't know, I'm just speculating at this point, but it's kind of a funny story we can tell ourselves. I would love to sell some more items to Lucan here, or like trade him items for other things, but I'll just buy these ruined books, honestly. I'll buy like all 4 of these ruined books, and I'll sell him 1 unit of skooma. Perfect, alright, we've maxed that as gold. And the last thing we'll do is we'll grab the golden claw
Yeah,
quest from him.
An ornament.
I'm not going to do any
Solid.
role playing
You
here. I'm
good?
just going to grab the quest.
Got some coin coming in from my
We're
last
not going to
shipment.
do the quest right now, but I want it in my journal. So that way later on, when I'm coming from Whiterun down this way for other quests, I can deviate over to Bleak Falls Barrow and get the quest that way. Okay, now let's go over to our little stash crate here and grab all of these different alchemy ingredients and the paper and the soul gems, and now we're really good on carry weight, so we can just go straight to Whiterun.
Those thieves must be mad,
Sorry, like,
you know.
Camilla right here is like thinking that we're gonna go and do this quest for her, and it's like, nah, I don't know, lady. I think we're gonna do it later. Sorry. Our character also leveled up. I'm gonna do that really quickly. Or maybe she's like almost leveled up and she's a tiny bit short. Let me double check. Okay, she did level up. So we'll level up. Definitely going to grab health. We want to continue to get this to a base HP of 150 before we switch over to Magicka. I just found that's kind of the sweet spot for the early game. As far as perks go, I'm like sort of tempted to save this perk until we get Relentless Onslaught. And in fact, that is what I'm going to do, because after we join the companions, we're going to have Farkas become a heavy armor trainer for us. And then we'll level up the heavy armor to level 20, and then we'll grab Relentless Onslaught. So I'm not going to spend this perk just yet. I'm going to hold off on that. What I am going to do, though, is quickly grab some food from this guy. Ugh, he doesn't have anything good, though. He doesn't have any beef stew. Ugh, now I regret not buying that raw beef from Lucan. I will grab another mammoth tomato stew, though, and I'll grab, like, 2 lavender honey dumplings just in case. Then I'll also grab this meat pie so we get a little bit of extra stamina for our next big fight. Other than that, I think we're in really good shape. I'll just grab a full meal from him before we go.
Until next time.
Part of Wildlander is making sure that your character is rested, has their hunger sated, and has their thirst quenched. And there's big penalties if you don't keep track of that, so best to just get a meal right now and then head out. Alright, well, let's head out of the Sleeping Giant and hit the road and head north towards Whiterun. It's kind of dark outside. Generally speaking, it's not a great idea to travel at night in Wildlander. There's lots of scary encounters that can happen on the road. But this is a relatively safe part of the map, so I'm not super worried about it. I am going to come over here, though, and grab the beehive husk ingredients. Because those will help us make some stronger potions when we get back to Whiterun. Alright, well, let's head out of here. Let's also get candlelight going again, so that way we continue to level up alteration. And I'll also save the game. I feel like it's good to get in the habit of saving the game every once in a while. I feel like most people, when they go to Whiterun, they actually like take the path this way. It just takes a lot longer. What I like to do is just hook across the mountains here. Just like super crazy dark outside right now, though. One of my complaints about Wildlander, I don't know, this is a complaint that comes up from a lot of people, is that the ENB that the game uses is really, really dark at night. So if I disable the ENB, like, this is a much more reasonable level of brightness for nighttime. This is super, super freaking dark. I don't know. I feel like my candlelight ambient lighting should definitely be illuminating things over there in the distance. That's okay, though. Sometimes it's not as bad. Like, sometimes if there's actually a moon out or something like that, it's not nearly as dark, but maybe it's just because it's raining right now. If you join the Wildlander Discord or subreddit, this is sort of a constant complaint that people make, so I guess I'm just sort of contributing to that now. I threw Healing Aura back on. I feel like there's a wolf that hangs out around here, so I should probably have my sword out just in case. Yeah, there's a wolf here. I can hear the wolf. There it is. So if you really want to with this wolf, you could like chug a healing potion and then let this wolf bite you and then level up both heavy armor and alteration that way. I feel like it's a little bit cheesy though. I tend not to do that. Like, if I'm really close to leveling up, I might do that. Like, I think I might have done that at the end of a maybe last episode, or maybe it was like another playthrough I was doing on my own. But for the most part, I try not to do that. It does feel a little bit cheesy to me. We're just going to use Farkas as a heavy armor trainer. Speaking of Farkas, let's get towards the Whiterun farm area, and let's actually meet the companions. So the companions are a critical quest line for a two-handed heavy armor spellblade. Gives you access to 3 things that I think are really essential for both the build itself and also for a permadeath style of gameplay. First thing the companions give you access to are skill trainers for heavy armor and two-handed. Oh, here we go. See, the lighting got a lot better now that the moon is out. Maybe I shouldn't be complaining about the ENB. Like, this is honestly a lot better. I think my big complaint about the ENB is that even when it's super, super dark outside, the enemy can see you from, like, fucking across the map, like a mile away. But because I'm just using my, like, sad human eyes on the screen, I can't see them. Like, that's, I think, my biggest complaint about the dark ENB, is I kind of wished it worked both ways. But this looks totally fine with the moon. Anyway, back to the companions. So it unlocks skill trainers, especially Farkas and Vilkas, who will give us heavy armor and two-handed respectively, which is exactly what we need to be leveling up as often as possible. The companions also give you access to Yorlin Greymane, who is the best blacksmith in the game, and allows you to completely forego smithing and then have him upgrade and create items for you. You can really abuse that by, like, I don't know, having him craft, like, ebony armor at super low levels and then, like, cheesing alchemy to get the gold to actually afford it. But I don't do that. I just have him upgrade stuff kind of as I organically get it throughout the game. And the last thing the companions give you that's really powerful is you get the werewolf transformation at around, like, level 20 through 25. Becoming a werewolf gives you a static 100 bonus to health and stamina, which is sort of essential if you're playing a permadeath character. Alright, but before we can join the companions, we have to meet them. So let's go meet Ayala, Farkas, and Rhea as they're fighting this, like, rogue giant in the Whiterun Plains. Oh my god, he's running away. Where are you going, buddy? Oh my god, there's a little bash interrupt there. I have to bash interrupt this guy. Like, if he hits me, let's let him hit me again. Smack. Like, it does, like, basically no damage to me. Obviously, if this giant actually hit me, like, 3 or 4 times, I'd probably be dead. But because this is, like, a scripted encounter, the giant just doesn't hit that hard.
You handle yourself well.
Aw, thanks,
You
Ayala.
for a decent shield, sister.
I like Ayala. She's a cool character, and I like how in Wildlander she has a custom hairstyle. Like, I think it just looks really good, like, this kind of, like, higher pixel, like, curly, messy hair.
An outsider, eh?
I also
You
like
ever heard
that,
of the companions?
when you talk with her
An
about
order
the
of warriors.
companions.
We are brothers and sisters in
I
honor.
love how she says, like, brothers
When we show
and
up to solve
sisters. Like,
problems,
there's
the
no
coin is
sort
good
of
enough.
male default in a lot of Skyrim quest lines. Like, even the Stormcloaks talk about, like, true sons and daughters of Skyrim. Just kind of nice to, like, have the feminism of the companions. Little sub-theme of the companions, though, which is kind of annoying but also kind of funny. Most of the times when you get dialogue options for the companions, you have 2 options. You have the, like, reasonable, well-adjusted human option. You know, she was just like, hey, like, here's this cool order of mercenaries I'm a part of. Like, we solve problems. And you can give the normal person answer, which is like, oh, that sounds cool. Can I join you? And then we can also give the, like, total psycho edgelord answer of just like, psh, whatever, sounds like a waste of time. Like, can you imagine you're, like, out in a park playing disc golf with your friends and someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, you're actually really good. We'd love if, like, you know, we have this cool club that's open to lots of people, and we're like, whatever, that sounds like a waste of time. Tani is not going to answer that way, but I feel like at least at one point in time in everybody's Skyrim playthrough, someone has given this answer.
Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Codlack.
Alright, well, let's skip through
If
the
you
rest
go
of
to
this
him.
dialogue.
Good luck.
I like Ayala. I think, like, people fangirl and fanboy over Ayala a lot, but honestly she is pretty sultry and she's a cool character. My real winner, though, for the companions, and this will be kind of a theme the more we work with the companions, is Farkas. I love Farkas. He's just, like, a stand-up guy. He's handsome. He's got that kind of like Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen style haircut, but he's like super jacked, unlike Viggo. He's got that like big burly build right there. This is like the really buff guy you see at Ren fairs and everyone's fawning over him. Get yourself a man like Farkas, ladies. Like, this guy's a winner. He's strong, he's handsome, he's loyal, he's caring. Like, everything you'd ever want in a guy is Farkas right there. He's also not very smart. Maybe that's also something that you want in a partner too. Anyway, we'll hang out with those guys a little bit more later. For now, we're just gonna head up to Whiterun. I like the companions. I feel like the companions are kind of an underrated faction. Like, on the one hand, I feel like the companions they're a little one-dimensional, but, you know, you play the faction enough and you start to, like, notice little cool idiosyncrasies that make the quest line feel a bit more fleshed out. Plus, there's all sorts of weird Bethesda glitches and stuff that just, like, make the quest line even more fun. I feel like most of the time people will walk up this way, but, like, I get bored doing that, so I always kind of like hop up over here on the ramparts. Anyway, let's hop into Whiterun, and then we'll join the companions. The first thing we're gonna do though is, honestly, we'll probably just go straight to Jorrvaskr at this point in time, and then we'll join the companions, spend the night there, we'll grab a quest, and then tomorrow morning we'll head out and go do that quest. The other thing we're going to do in Whiterun, other than sell some of our excess equipment, because we still have some excess gear on us, is we're going to talk with Adrian Avanici, who is the blacksmith at War Maidens, and we're going to place some crafting orders that we're going to just kind of leave in the queue until we get back from doing the companions quests.
But we must have more swords for the Imperial
We'll just let these two talk for now. Like, it's too late right now. It's 11 in the evening, so like Adrian's not even open, so we're just gonna let those two chat for a second.
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's storm.
Whiterun is kind of a fun hub for a Spellblade character. It's just a really well-rounded city. It's well designed. It's got a great aesthetic. Like, I think everyone's compared this Whiterun aesthetic to Rohan, which is like obviously very on point. I just got over encumbered just by filling up my water right there. While we're in town, one thing I always love to remind people to check out is the missive board over here. This is a mod that gets added in Wildlander. It just has a bunch of Radiant quests here. We have a Kill the Leader of All-Time Tower quest. I fucking love it. Let's definitely grab that. This quest board also doesn't interfere with other Radiant quests, so just because I have the Voltime Tower Leader quest right here, doesn't mean that I won't be able to get that from a Bandit quest or from a companion quest or something like that. Voltime Towers is a really crazy fight. I'm glad we grabbed that bounty, because even if Farkas ends up giving us a shitty quest here in Whiterun, we'll still be able to do this quest at Voltime Towers. That'll still be fun. Let's go join the companions though. Let's go actually meet our fellow shield sisters and shield brothers. There's always some like weird dynamics going on in these initial interactions with the companions that I think are fun to like do a little commentary on and like call attention to, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Okay, this is a great example. So these two are supposed to be brawling, but like Athos has lost his fucking mind and has pulled out a dagger. And he's just like trying to like stab Najata and like butcher her. Oh my god, and Najata still wins. Just like beats the shit out of stupid little Athos here. Athos the edgelord with his dagger.
What kind of weapon do you prefer? I like the smaller, quicker.
Oh my god, this is amazing. So Athos, after trying to stab Najata, is now like accosting Torvar the frat bro, and Torvar is just like ogling Najata as she walks away. He's like, oh my god, that Nord lady who just beat up this little edgelord is really, really hot. And Athos just won't shut up about his swords. I feel like we all knew someone in high school who was just like Athos. I really like the dynamics here. Najada's a cool character too. Najada's one of my favorite characters in the companions. She's just like a total stone butch. She just like takes absolutely no shit from anybody. She's kind of an asshole and I really enjoy her. Like, she's an asshole in a way that isn't edgy. She's just like a self-assured, confident lady, whereas Athos is the absolute worst. He's just like a little elf boy. Alright, let's go join the companions and then we'll go meet our fellow shield sisters and shield brothers after we've done all of this. These two have a conversation that kind of like hints at the nature of the werewolves, but like we're just gonna interrupt them and get things moving. I really like Kodlak. I kind of wish he had a more prominent role in the quest line. Like, I feel like poor Kodlak is just like sits around all day, like being sad in the basement. Then he occasionally goes upstairs and has dinner. I rarely see him step outside. But he's a cool character and, you know, he's got some nice dialogue options. And I love his voice actor. I forget who it is, but they do a really good job. We're just going to kind of fast forward through the would you like to join dialogue.
Yes, perhaps.
One thing I like about this dialogue is, as you learn later in the companion quest line, he's already seen you in a dream by the time that you actually join the companions. So like, this is all kind of performative. Like, he knows that he had a dream about you, but Vilkas doesn't know that. And he's like deliberately withholding this information from Vilkas.
Sometimes the famous
anyway,
come
just
to
kind of like
us.
fun little dynamics
Sometimes
between
men
all
and
of
women
them.
come to us to seek their fame. It makes no difference.
I also really
What
love how like
matters is their
Kodlak is
heart.
waxing philosophical and Vilkas is like,
Of
yo,
course.
I don't really care
How are
like
you in battle, girl?
how this lady's soul is. I just want to make sure that she can actually fight. And here we are again with like our standard answers for the companions. We have like the well-adjusted human answer, which is like, yeah, I can handle myself. Like, I'll be fine in your band of warriors. And then we have the total sociopath answer. This is the answer that Athos the Edgelord would definitely give. He'd be like, you dare question my skill? Incidentally, there's a third option here, which is like more the humble warrior answer. Kodlak really likes when you give this answer. He's like, ah, that's the spirit, girl. You're like a lifelong learner like me. But I feel like Tani's more of a kind of like, yeah, I can handle myself kind of lady.
That may be so. This is Vilkas. He will test your arm.
Vilkas is just
take her
like
out to the
super
yard
not
and see what she
jazzed
can
to do this.
Aye.
He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, Harbinger. I guess I'll go do this thing. He like takes forever to stand up too. He's like, yeah, I'm just taking my time here. At least he's actually jogging. I feel like I've seen him like walk and do this a few times before, which is super annoying. He also like always gets stuck on this pathing. He's like, are you following me? Ugh, and he like scowls at you. He's like, whatever, lady. He like sizes you up and then just like continues to go upstairs to the training yard. I feel like when you fight Vilkas, I've always wondered if you can like kill this guy in one hit if you were a higher level and just like smacked him with a huge power attack or something. I feel like he's probably marked as essential so that doesn't happen. I don't know though. Maybe one of these days I'll try it out in like a different playthrough. Ooh, I like that Ria's here for this. It's kind of nice when there's a witness to this fight because, like, you know, 15-20 minutes later, Ayala tells you, or at least Ayala and Skjor both make an observation about, like, I heard you were training with Vilkas in the yard. And it's nice that there's a witness to that fight, actually. That kind of, like, makes it make a little bit more sense. Vilkas is, like, warming up by, like, smacking the wall and, like, hitting this training dummy. Like, are you gonna fight me?
The old man
There we go.
said to have a look at you.
I like to actually like try to get a good bash interrupt on him and then actually get a good follow-up slash. Like, I feel like that makes the most sense. So that way when people say that like they saw you fight, that they actually like saw you. Oh my god, I totally whiffed that. Jesus Christ. Come on, Vilkas, let's go.
Wouldn't hurt me if you wanted to.
Yeah, no kidding, because clearly I missed my first
that.
slash.
Next time won't be so easy.
Oh, that was
You
horrible.
might just make it. But for now, you're still
Alright,
a whelp to
I guess that's what
So you
happens
do
when
what
you're
we tell you.
overconfident.
Here's my sword. Go take it up to Yorland to have it sharpened. And be careful. It's probably worth
This is such
more
a
than
low
you are.
blow, saying the sword
I've
is
been looking
worth
for you.
more than I am.
That's something I'm
Oh my
supposed
god,
to
what is the
deliver.
courier
Your
doing
hands
here?
in
I wonder what he's trying to give me.
I've been looking for you. Got
Einar
something I'm supposed to deliver.
Sable Hilt the
Your hands
Courier.
only.
What is? I don't
Let's
know what he's
see.
giving
Looks
me
like
here.
that's it.
It's kind of a
Got to
weird
go.
timing to get like a missive in the middle of the night. Happy birthday. Oh my god! This is amazing. Okay, so this is really funny. So remember in the first episode when I randomized Taniesi's birthday? Well, it turns out that this entire time our character has been in the month of June. Like it's actually mid-year right now. So now that it's the 30th of mid-year at like 1 in the morning, the courier came and found me and gave me a birthday letter. Oh, I love that. That's really sweet. And then he also gives me this like birthday gift satchel right here. Let me... this is going to be tricky because the moment I open this birthday gift satchel, it's going to give me something and then my carry weight's going to get really over encumbered. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just not going to open my birthday present just yet. Let's go deliver the sword to Yorlin Greymane. Anyway, as I was saying before the courier interrupted me, it's so insulting that Vilkas is like, my 315 gold sword is worth more than you. And it's like, dude, bro, I have 3,000 gold on me. Like, don't at me, bro. Let's go chat with Yorlin really quickly.
What brings you here?
I really like Yorlin. He's like the old gruff granddad of the companions. He's also got that kind of like silver bear energy like Kodlak. I feel like everyone who's ever worked in a blue collar like manufacturing job knows a Yorlin Greymane from their work. He's the dude who's been working there for like 50 years. He should have retired 20 years ago. He could have retired back then, but just chose not to. He's never gonna leave the job. He can like bend rebar with his bare hands. He's just like such a badass. I really like him. He's a gruff guy. He's not always the nicest, but like as he gets to know and trust you and see that you're a solid worker, he develops a begrudging respect for you. It's kind of like the vibe that Yorlin gives me.
I'm guessing you're the newcomer then.
Yeah, I'm the newcomer, and like Vilkas is already bossing me around. But in fairness, I did totally whiff that follow-up swing on him, so like Vilkas can definitely afford to boss me around a little bit.
And don't always just do what you... Well,
I like how
I'm not
Yorlin
sure how they've managed
like continues the
no leaders
the
since
feminism
Ysgramor.
of the companions.
Kodlak is the harbinger. And he's a sort of advisor for the whole
He's gonna
group.
say this
But
line
every man
here.
is his own. Every woman
Every
her own.
man is his own, every woman her own. Like, nice work, Yorlin. Like, for being an old dude, like, really getting the feminism down right there and kind of separating
Not
those
actually
out.
a companion. My name is Yorlin Greymane.
Anyway, this is
I
gonna
work
be
the
our
Skyforge.
kind of default
Best steel
blacksmith.
in all of Skyrim.
But we can't
All of
actually
Tamriel.
use him as a blacksmith until we become a werewolf and join the circle.
I have a favor to ask.
So let's go grab his shield.
I've been working on a shield for her. My wife is in mourning.
This is a
and I
really
need to get
interesting
back to her
line.
soon.
He says, like, my
I'd be much
wife
obliged
is
if you
in
could take
mourning.
this to Aela for me.
This is really interesting because the reason his wife is in mourning is because their son, Thorald, I think his name is, got like abducted and black bagged by the Thalmor and taken to their like torture facility on the Solitude Coast. And like, I guess they don't know that the Thalmor necessarily kidnapped him. Like, they assume that's what happened. But like, his wife is really sad about that, and Yorlin is just like not even batting an eyelash at that. He's just like, whatever. My son got kidnapped. He joined the Stormcloaks. I don't really know what he expected. But he does have to get back to his wife who's in mourning. It's just kind of like underscores like what a kind of like cold, gruff, older guy Yorland is. Like, he's not mourning his son. He's just kind of there to comfort his wife.
This isn't a command.
I
just
like
decency.
the tongue-in-cheek
Help out an old
response of
blacksmith.
like, didn't you
I've got
just
to
tell
get
me
back to
not
my
to be a
work."
servant? He's like, lady, don't give me that shit. Just like be a sister here. Like, bring the sword to who, bring the shield to who it needs to go to. Help out an old blacksmith, as he says. Okay, let's head in here and give the shield to Aela. Then we'll join the companions, and then we'll get the quest from Farkas. And hopefully it's a bandit quest, so that way we can do both the bandit quest for Farkas and then also do the Valtime Towers quest all in a row. That'd be kind of fun to do. Sometimes he gives us a quest to beat people up, which is kind of stupid. One of the nice things about fighting the giant down by the Whiterun plains...
I've been thinking we need to be more discreet.
Oh my god.
There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Oh my god.
You know the old man doesn't like it. Let's just not be too obvious.
This is like a very risque conversation to be having through the door, and like, you know, they're clearly talking about how they go out and like hunt together, and like we all know what that really means. It's like they go out there, they become werewolves, they murder a bunch of people, and then they just have like wild furry hookups in the middle of like a bloodbath. It's really grisly. Anyway, you walk in on these two and they're like, just like look at the tension between these two. They're just like not even blinking. They don't even look at you. This is just like super sexy. Like we don't even need to ship this. This is just like actually happening. Aella is definitely the top in this relationship too. She is a fiery, crazy lady. Skjor is just along for the ride with his like gray-haired, like receding hairline, and like Aella is just this total firecracker, and he's like, I am the luckiest guy on earth. All right, let's go give the shield to Aella.
If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be quick. Good. I've been waiting for this.
Kind of a little.
Good to see you made it up here.
That little line right there.
I saw her training in the yard with Vilkas.
Good to see you made it up here.
I heard you gave him quite a
That's
thrashing.
because we were fighting the giant down by Whiterun.
Do you think you could handle Vilkas?
If we hadn't fought the giant down by Whiterun and helped them out, she would have said something else. Here we are again with our normal person answer, and then our like Athos the Edgelord answer. We're clearly not going to say this. This is like, what a psycho thing to say to someone. We're just gonna say this instead.
A woman who lets her actions speak for her. I knew there was something I liked
God,
about you.
in fairness to the people
let's
who
have Farkas show you
fangirl
where
and
you'll be resting
fanboy
your
about
head.
Aella, she is just like super
Farkas.
hot. Farkas is
Did you
pretty
call
hot
me?
too, though. Like,
Of
these two are
course we
awesome. I
did,
love
Ice
them.
Brain. Show this new blood where the rest
I
of
love
the
how
world
she gives
sleep.
shit to Farkas.
New blood. Oh, I
Farkas is
remember you.
totally
Come on,
unfazed
follow
too.
me.
This kind of just like underscores my theory that Farkas is just like one of the best people in the
Skjor and
game
Aella
to like
to
be in a
tease me,
romance
but
with.
they're good people. They challenge
Like
us
he
to
has
be our
no
best.
ego at all.
Nice to have a new face
If you had
around.
insulted
It gets
Athos
boring
and
here
called him like an
sometimes.
ice brain or an ash
hope we
brain
keep
or
you.
whatever you'd call a
This can be a
Dunmer,
rough life. The
he would get
quarters are
super,
up
super
here.
angry
Just
and
pick a bed
resentful.
and
But
fall
like
in when
Farkas
you're
is just
tired.
like, they like to tease
Tell
me,
we'll keep
but
the
they're
place
good
clean.
people.
She always has.
Gonna be a running theme of our companions' playthrough is the get yourself a man like Farkas.
All right, so here you are. Looks like the others are eager to meet you.
Are they?
Come to me or Aella if you're looking
asleep,
for
honestly.
work. Once you've made a bit
Oh,
of a
I guess
name
not.
for yourself,
Najada's still
Skjor
awake.
and Vilkas
She's probably
might
like,
have
who
things
is
for
this
you to
fucking
do.
lady that's like
Good
butting in
luck.
on me?
Welcome to the companions.
Okay.
By the way, if you're looking for something to do,
Let's see what quest
we've
he
gotten
gives
a
us.
letter about someone needing
a
some
letter.
muscle right
Oh,
here
that's
in Whiterun.
terrible.
Hold. I don't know what the fuck.
I was hoping.
just need you.
I was really
no more
hoping
than
that he would give us
I
a
don't wanna hear about a killing,
bounty
understand?
for bandits, but instead he's giving us like a
Try
letter
not
to
to
go
get
beat
carried
someone up.
away.
Let's go see who we have to beat up. Gwendolyn, Battleborn Farm. What on earth is that? Where on earth is Gwendolyn? She's like all the way out here. Ugh, what a stupid quest. At least it's like kind of in the direction of All Time Tower, so we can kind of like go this way for the rest of the episode. God, Farkas is totally right. I guess all the companions were eager to meet me, even though it's like 4 in the fucking morning. We're not going to talk to all of them. Like, maybe we'll talk to them a little bit as we kind of like continue our quest line, but like we'll just introduce ourselves. We got Athos the Edgelord here.
I never thought they would actually
Who's like
let
a
me
total
join the
dick to you.
companions. But now it looks like they're letting anyone in these
Athos,
days.
you are such an asshole. I will say, he has a really great line right here when you ask him why he joined the companions.
Fortune and glory, friend. Fortune and glory.
That's a badass line right there. It's also a throwback to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Until next time.
I think Harrison Ford says that in that movie. He has some other answers too, and we're not going to worry about those. We got Athos the Edgelord. He's the sword boy. He's the guy that everyone knew in high school who would like flutter around with butterfly knives. Okay, then we got Torvar. He's like the big frat bro of the companions.
The latest recruit, right? Wait, is that right?
He's like always drunk. This guy's BAC must be like 0.4 all the time. I'm not going to talk to him, but like...
Yeah.
He's just like kind of a bro. He's just in it for like fighting things and money. He's just like along for the ride. Then there's Najada. Najada's awesome.
I'm still trying to figure out why Skjor let you in the first place.
She's like not an edgelord. She's just like a solid warrior lady who's like legitimately confused about why this newcomer who she's never heard of before was able to join. I also love when you ask like these questions, like, why did you join the companions?
So I wouldn't have to answer stupid questions from idiots.
Really just like winning friends, Najada. Yeah, she's awesome. I really enjoy her. And then lastly is Rhea. She's like overly helpful,
I was
honestly.
the newest companion until you came along. I guess that's okay. Just means I can show you the ropes.
She's really nice. I kind of wish you could like have these people become your companions and followers a little bit earlier, so like they could actually show you the ropes. Rhea also like sells some basic alchemy ingredients and stuff like that. Like a pretty decent selection, honestly. So if you ever like are looking for alchemy ingredients and you can't find them elsewhere in Whiterun, Rhea might be able to give those to you. She also sells some pelts. Anyway, that's it for the companions.
Until next time.
So here's what we're gonna do. Let's like
If
quickly.
the circle vouches for you, I'm sworn to respect their judgment.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I like it.
Nishada's just like giving us a fucking hard time. She's got like serious RBF too. Like, look at that face. She just like wants nothing to do with us.
I can. It might save your life.
Let's level up block though really quickly. So I have a rule of thumb, which says that I'm only allowed to do 1 level of training per trainer per day. So I can't max this out 5 times right now. I can do this once per day, so I'm just going to do 1 block from Najada, and that's it for my training from Najada for today.
Until next time.
I feel like this just kind of like keeps the game moving at a reasonable pace. Let me see if my character's rested. Okay, my character is rested, so I'm not going to worry about like taking a nap or anything like that. We're just going to head out. The other thing I'm going to do before I leave, which is something I mentioned earlier and is really, really important, is I'm going to talk to Farkas, and I'm going to level up heavy armor. And then I'm going to pick up the Relentless Onslaught perk.
Skjor says that I have the strength of Ysgramor, and my brother has his smarts.
Farkas is such a... God, his like neck is fucking gigantic. His neck is like almost bigger than his whole head. This dude is a monster.
I'll show you what I can about protecting yourself.
So let's level up heavy armor, and then let's grab this Relentless Onslaught perk. So this is fantastic. This will significantly speed up the pace of our game, because now we can actually sprint without losing all of our stamina. So that's a nice little pickup right there. The other thing I'm going to do before I forget, because I totally forgot to do this, I bought that animal bone large from Lucan at the Riverwood Trader, and now we're going to turn it into a bone of Hircine. And then let's use the bone of Hircine, which did work. We have about a 70% chance of it working, and we get this kind of like little blue aura on us. And now we have Hircine's Favor, which helps us catch our breath a little faster, which basically just means regenerate our stamina. And our Mammoth Tomato Stew is almost out, so now I'm going to have a little bit of that. So with Mammoth Tomato Stew and Bones of Hircine, now we can just sprint. So like we're at full stamina right now. Let's just sprint around the room a few times. Like typically if we did not have the Engraved Bone, Relentless Onslaught, and Mammoth Tomato Stew, our stamina would be totally drained. But look at that. It only went down by a tiny amount that whole time. So now we can actually sprint everywhere. This makes a huge, huge difference for like the pacing of our game now. Ooh, kind of a really cool skybox going on. It's 6:10 a.m. Here's what I'm gonna do, because I want to grab a quest before we leave town. I want to get the quest from Amren. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay out my bedroll right here on the ground. And then I'm just going to have a little nap for 2 hours. Then we'll pack up, and that like kind of affects the duration of Hircine's Favor and Mammoth Tomato Stew, but it's not significant. Okay, now we're going to head out, and we'll be able to grab that quest from Amren, because now it'll be after 8 in the morning, so he should be outside, and we can grab the quest from him. And then with those quests, we'll be able to leave Whiterun and actually start fighting some bandits. So Amren and his wife are about to get in an argument here.
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that thieves.
In fairness, Amren's wife is like
own.
totally
So
correct.
you're willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
Like it's a fair point.
Just need to hire one, maybe 2 good
Like Amren's been like, I don't know, researching old books, and like this is his stupid hobby. He's like trying to find his dad's old sword, and this lady's like, look dude, we have a fucking family to feed. Times are hard out here.
Wait,
Anyway, we'll go help a brother out right here.
you tried mercenary work? It might suit you.
It would suit me, in fact. And
My Sapphire
what
doesn't
were you
like
two
that I've been
arguing
spending
about?
so much time looking for my father's old sword.
Yeah.
He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy.
Amryn, you gotta focus on, like, being a better partner and a better dad and not, like, finding the sword.
I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby. But I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it.
Well,
I don't know
funny
why
you
I'm saying
mention it.
this, but
I am a new
if you
companion.
find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you.
He's also a one-handed trainer. One of
I can teach you
the
a few
tricks to leveling up in Skyrim is, like, every so often is just, like, leveling up other skills even if you're not using them, just because it helps you level up to the next level. So following our 1 level of training per trainer per day, we're just going to grab a quick level of one-handed.
Find that sword, please.
Okay, and then Amryn wants us to go... Oh, this is perfect. He wants us to go to White River Watch. So this will be a great rest of the episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the farm, and we're going to go beat this lady up, apparently. Then we're going to go to White River Watch and clear that out, and then we're going to end the episode by clearing out Downtime Towers. So that'll be a really good arc for the rest of the episode. Let's save the game to... I hate for it to crash, and we have to, like, redo any of that. Last logistical things before we head out of town. I am going to stop over at the Bannered Mare and grab some beef stew, because we are definitely not going to try to do Downtime Towers without beef stew. That's a terrible idea. There's some other stuff we can do here. Like, I'll talk to this guy and, like, give him a gold piece.
Thank you. Divines bless your
This gives us Gift of Charity, and Gift of Charity improves our buying and selling
If it's work
prices.
you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fire?
And then I'm gonna see what she's got for
Drink
sale.
for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
She's got 2 beef stews, so we'll grab those. She's got chicken dumpling, we'll grab that. And then she also has... Let's see if she's got any pies. Okay, she's got an apple pie, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'll just buy another mammoth tomato stew and another regular tomato soup just to be safe.
Need anything else? Just let me know.
Okay, so we're done with here. Let's head out of the Bannered Mare. Now we're going to stop at Arcadia, the potion lady. Just because I want to grab a mortar and pestle from her. Mortar and pestles are portable alchemy toolkits or alchemy tables. And I want to be able to make potions, like, kind of right before we get in combat. Oh, sorry, Arcadia, I'm just, like, destroying your shop.
But
She's also an alchemy trainer, so I'll just grab a little alchemy training from her.
Ah, so you're an alchemist then.
Okay, let's sell some of these potions we're just really realistically not going to use. Like, we're not going to use these magicka potions right now. We don't need water breathing. I'll sell this drained bone of Hircine. And I'm going to sell one of these bones, but I'm going to save the other one and it'll come up in a later episode. Okay, and then let's go to her inventory and let's buy the mortar and pestle so we can make alchemy, or we can make potions on the fly. And then I think that's the only thing I'm going to buy from her. Oh, I'll get a remarkable stamina potion because she has one of those on hand. Ooh, she also has good 2-handed potions. I'll grab those as well.
Come back anytime if you need a
Oh my god,
remedy.
child, you're like in the way. Excuse me, child. You gotta move. I feel like a lot of people, when they play permadeath runs, need to be substantially more aggressive with your potions and scrolls, because that's how you're, like, going to survive a lot of these fights. Let's stop at this kind of guy, too, on the way out of town and quickly sell a few items to him. I just want to clear some room out of my inventory before I leave. We'll also see if he has any scrolls. God, he does not have any scrolls. He's got terrible items. Jesus. None of these are super powerful spells that we need to get right now. Like, I'm not going to worry about any of these. Ooh, he does have a mage armor spell book for rank 2. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to grab this mage armor spell book because it's pretty cheap. And it'll save us from having to
Take a look.
get that when we level up alteration. We can get a different spell instead. Then I'm just going to sell some random stuff here. I tend to sell a lot of my scrolls, except for the Spirit Wolf scrolls and the Fireball, like explosive AoE spells. Spirit Wolf's really good because it can help you draw the enemy's attention away from you, and then they'll focus on the wolf and not be killing you. It's particularly important when you're fighting mages.
Until next time.
Alright, so let's head out of this guy, and then let's sell a few things at Adrian Avenici. And the other thing we're going to do with Adrian is we're going to place a crafting order, because I want to place this order before we head out of town. We also get to like see this kind of like exchange here between the Alakir warriors and the guards.
Got some good pieces out
Let's
here.
talk to Adrian quickly.
More inside.
We'll also grab her quest to deliver
sword.
something to her dad.
Listen, could you take... Thanks.
This will add a great sword to our inventory, but it doesn't actually take
finest
up any
weapons and
carry
armor.
weight, so there's kind of no harm in doing it. Okay, let's sell that. Sell like all of these gems and stuff like that. Let's see if she's got any like items that are really going to be important for this fight that we're about to do. It doesn't really look like it though. Yeah, it doesn't really have anything. Okay, what we are going to do though is we're going to place a crafting order. So honed metal is the mod that governs crafting in Wildlander, and it means that we can hire blacksmiths to do our crafting for us. We don't have to do it ourselves. The disadvantage of honed metal, other than it being expensive, is it often crashes your game. So after I place this crafting order, I'm going to save the game and reload just to prevent that crash.
You there. We're looking for someone in
Oh my
Whiterun.
god, just like
We'll pay good money
Alakir
for
warriors off to the side here interrupting me. I'm just going to ignore him for now. Alright, so on our crafting menu with Adrian, we're going to craft an ancient Nordic greatsword, and then we're going to immediately have her upgrade that to an ancient Nordic honed greatsword. And then under armor, let's go to plate armor. Let's get plate gauntlets and a plate helmet. And that'll complement our plated cuirass and plated boots that we already have. I should have had her make a hunting knife too. That's super frustrating because that's why I saved this animal bone, is specifically for that reason. The solution for this, let's just save really quickly before the game crashes. Let's go to her husband, and we're just going to have her husband craft us the hunting knife.
I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know.
This
I
might
have
crash
a
the
store.
game too, so we'll see.
Welcome to War Maidens.
Let's
Now,
place a
need
crafting
something?
order. Let's go to his inventory, and let's do a... Shoot, I have to break down this into a fragment bone. So I'm going to break down the animal bone small into a fragment bone.
We've got small
I'm gonna
weapons
talk to
as
her
well
husband.
as big. Need something?
And now we're going to have him craft me an orcish hunting knife. Let's also have him craft me some barding, because by the time I get back from my journey, I'm going to have a horse with me. So I want to have some barding waiting for me when I get back. Let's just do the saddle and mail, because that's like relatively cheap. Maybe Nordic barding and saddle would look good. It's kind of expensive though, and I'm a little bit worried about running out of money after buying all this stuff, so I'm just going to get the barding for the mail. Okay, so we did that. Let's save again, because again, I think a crash is probably impending. And now let's head out of Whiterun for real, and let's go fight some bandits. We'll talk to these Alakir warriors too. Oh my god, he's not actually talking to me. Oh, it's probably because I initiated the conversation with or he tried to talk to me while I was talking with Adrian.
What do you need?
Who are you
A
looking
woman,
for?
a foreigner in these lands.
Alright,
Like,
well,
we are not welcome
he like
here in
won't
Whiterun.
even tell us why
So we
he's
will be
looking
in
for this
Rory.
lady.
Verdict.
Like,
We're looking for a fugitive who comes
okay,
from
looking for a
Hammerfell.
fugitive from
Redguard woman.
Hammerfell.
It's none of your
Won't tell
concern.
us why
All you
he's
need to
looking
know-
for
if
her.
that doesn't
This
interest
is super
you,
creepy.
feel
We're
free
not
to
going to
walk
help these
away.
guys out. But this will open up the In My Time of Need quest, which we will do in our next episode. For this episode, we have plenty to do already. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save the game. I'm going to quit. I'm going to reload, so that way we avoid any crashes from honed metal. And then after I reload, we will head out of Whiterun and go actually fight some bandits, so I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we are back. Notice that we leveled up on those load screens, so I definitely got to do that before we head out from Whiterun. But I also realized that we totally forgot about our birthday present. We have this birthday satchel in our inventory that the courier gave us last night. So we're going to open this up really quickly and see what's inside. There's always some random magical item in here, it's just often pretty mediocre. So sometimes it's really good. Let's just see what we get this time. Okay, birthday countdown. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday, Tanny. A ring of major sure grip. Oh, hell yeah. What a great item. Oh, that's super, super, super solid. I'm really happy with that. Oh, that's fantastic. Sometimes this is just like a total garbage item. Like, I've gotten like a Staff of Fury. Or like, I don't know, a Staff of Fire Sparks. But a Ring of Major Sure Grip is really strong. That's a great way to start off our run right here. That's way better than the Ring of Blocking that we have. I definitely prioritize offense over defense for a lot of my characters. I think generally speaking, like, you really need to be hitting hard and killing enemies quickly, as opposed to just like absorbing damage and like gradually working them down, particularly in the multiple enemy encounters that we tend to do. So I love that. That's a fantastic item. I'm really, really happy about that. Okay, well, in the spirit of two-handed weapon damage, let's level up and see if we can grab the Great Sword Focus perk, because that's kind of the thing we really want at our level 6. So let's definitely keep increasing health. I don't know why it says two-handed is 5. It's like, oh, it's 24. Oh no, we're so close to Great Sword Focus. We're just like not quite there. Ugh, I really want Great Sword Focus for this, like, these next few bandit fights. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We can actually solve this problem really quickly. Let's go over to Adrian and quickly sell our light armor braces.
Or deal some damage.
The reason we have to sell these is because now that we have the Relentless Onslaught perk, we need to have a full set of heavy armor, so we can't mix and match. But that's okay because our Sure Grip ring is going to compensate for most of the damage lost there.
Don't forget to check inside the shop.
And let's get these gauntlets on, and then let's just go find Vilcus, because Vilcus, the companions guy, he's a two-handed trainer, so he'll just be able to level up our two-handed and then we'll be in good shape. I'm gonna start by checking the Drunken Huntsman. Like, I feel like Vilcus hangs out in here sometimes. I'm probably gonna end up having to run all the way back to Jorvaskr.
If not, let me know.
Ugh, no, he's not here. Rhea's here, but no Vilcus. Okay, let's go to the Bannered Mare. Sometimes he's hanging out at the Bannered Mare instead. I'm kind of annoyed with myself that I didn't do this earlier. Like, I really just should have talked to Vilcus when I was, like, back at Jorvaskr and knew he was there, and it just totally slipped my mind. But maybe we'll get lucky and he's at the Bannered Mare, like I was saying. We don't have to run all the way back up to Jorvaskr and find him.
Warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
Ugh, no, he's not here either. Oh, that's super, super annoying. Okay, maybe he's, like, in here, just, like, hanging out. Ugh, darn it. Okay, I guess we do have to go to Jorvaskr. This is a really annoying thing about the companions. I've definitely run into this problem before, where, like, I have no freaking clue where they are. If you have a quest from one of them, the quest giver will stay in the entryway to Jorvaskr. So at least it's easy to find the quest giver. But if you're trying to find any other companion, like, good fucking luck. They could be fucking anywhere in the city. Okay, there's Vilcus right there, so that wasn't that bad. At least didn't go very far. What up, Vilcus?
Come to me with questions.
I
know our...
I want to know how to be as strong with two-handed weapons as you are. Okay, perfect. That solves our problem. So now we can just go to skills. We'll grab Great Sword Focus. I really like grabbing Great Sword Focus before doing a lot of bandit areas. Increasing our attack speed and our armor penetration really doubles down on some of the things that makes Great Swords effective. With more attack speed, we can do follow-up attacks and power attacks a lot faster, which means we can exploit openings. And then armor penetration is really important because typically great swords have very low armor penetration. I don't even know if they have any innate armor penetration or if, like, maybe it's just axes and warhammers that have that. I kind of forget the base stats. Anyway, adding some armor penetration on top of whatever the base is, though, really, really helps out. It means that our great swords are actually effective against heavily armored enemies, enemies with shields, and stuff like that. So overall, really kind of nice restart to our episode here after doing our preventative crash. Or our crash preventative reload. So what we're going to do is we're going to head out of Whiterun. We're going to reapply some of our like healing aura and stuff like that, and then we're going to go hit these bandits. And the order we're going to hit the bandits in is going to be the Skooma dealers, like smugglers or whoever they are, on the north side of the Dragon's Reach Plateau. We're going to steal a horse from them. Then we're going to go to a little outpost on the eastern side of Whiterun. And we're going to adopt the horse. We'll also fight a few bandits over there. And then we're going to go beat up that lady. I think her name's Gwendolyn. Yeah, Gwendolyn over here. Then we're going to get Amaran's sword at White River Watch, and we'll fight Hashvar Ironhand and his gang. They're hanging out over here. And then we'll go fight Valtheim Towers and Elsie the Spiker, who's the boss of Valtheim. White River Watch is not a super difficult bandit dungeon. It'll be a good warm-up. Valtheim's legitimately pretty difficult, though, particularly in Permadeath, so this will be a really great way to end the episode. Okay, let's get our healing aura reapplied. Let's get our armor back on. And then I realized I have to go quickly run a real-life errand, which I totally forgot about until I started recording this episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save the game. And then I'm going to quit, and I'll be right back after I finish running this real-life errand. Stupid real-life stuff. Let's just play Skyrim all day. Okay, so I'll be right back, everyone. I'll see you in a second. Okay, everybody, we are back. Sorry for those delays. Real life stuff is boring. Let's just play Skyrim and murder bandits all day. So as I was coming back, I took a look at some of the recordings that I'd already made, and I realized that we really just don't have enough time to do all of the content that I had planned for today. There's no way we're going to get to Valtheim by the end of this episode. So what I am going to do, though, is I am going to go kill the Skooma dealers that are at this little cave that's north of the Whiterun Plateau. We're going to go adopt our horse, and then we'll probably have time to fight the farmer by Battleborn Farm, and then maybe also clear out White River Watch. We'll just make it a slightly longer episode, but we're not going to have enough time for Valtheim, so we'll do that in our next episode. Let's talk a little bit about our horse adoption, aka Tani murders some Skooma dealers and steals their horse. So there's like a few places that you can get horses in the early game. I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I feel like the one where most people end up going is they go to this little Skooma smuggler den that's on the north side of the Whiterun Plateau, and they just kill the bandits here and steal their horse. I feel like anywhere else you go, for the most part, you're like stealing from like citizens or like farmers, or there's guards nearby, but these are just a bunch of fucking Skooma dealers, so who cares? We're also going to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about power attacks. Specifically, I want to talk about the sideways power attack. So as folks have seen in my previous episodes, like there's 5 power attacks total that you can use as a two-handed character when you don't have the Devastating Charge perk. So when you get Devastating Charge, which you get at heavy armor, or not heavy armor, two-handed 50, that opens up a few other power attack techniques. But up until then, you have 5 basic power attacks. You have the stationary power attack. That one's really good when enemies are overextending with a power attack of their own, and you've identified that you've already dodged out of the way. You can just dodge, turn towards them, and then finish them off on a slash. I did that a few times in Ember Shard Mine. Then you also have the forward power attack, which is where your character does this big wind up and just comes smashing down and cracks someone on the head with your weapon. This one's really good against enemies who are like maybe taunting when they shouldn't be, or like you're just far enough away where you can reach them where they can't bash you with their shield. Also really good against archers as well, because it guarantees you'll kill the archer in one hit, and most of the time you can kill the archer before they hit you with their bow. I also realized there's a saber cat over there. I just gotta be careful the saber cat doesn't like come chasing after this deer and attack us. The third power attack technique is a reverse power attack. So if I'm backing up here, my character spins around backwards and then does an attack like that. And those are really good when enemies are advancing on you. Also looks really cool from third person. But in first person, when enemies are advancing on you, they tend to advance slightly faster than you backpedal. So if you get the timing right on that, they'll walk right into the power attack. So those are the 3 basic power attacks that we've talked about so far. And then the 4th and 5th one are these sideways power attacks. So sideways power attack to the left looks like this. Then the sideways power attack to the right, you actually spin around and slash them like that. I don't think they make any difference from a first person standpoint. It sort of matters what angle you want to cut it. But sideways power attacks, you have to manage the timing and the distance properly. And if you screw the timing and the distance up, your enemy can bash, interrupt, and kind of like make you waste your power attack. Okay, let's apply this to these bandits right here. So we have an archer here. He's like picking his nails with his dagger, and then we got this guy here with like a axe, or it looks like maybe a mace and a shield. So we're going to use our sideways power attacks on this guy, and then this guy we're just going to kill with the regular power attack. There's our horse we're going to steal too. The horse is like, ooh, I can tell that my new mama's coming. It's just like, I'm going to try to distract this bandit so I can get liberated. Alright, so let's run this guy down and then quickly kill him. I didn't get the bash on this guy, or oh jeez, just like fucking knock that guy's head off. That horse is not happy about that. So I could have killed that guy with like a follow-up swing because he overextended, but I really want to showcase these sideways power attacks. So most of the time when people do sideways power attacks, I'm pausing with the console right now because I want to talk about this while he's here on the screen. They cut in at these really tight, like 30 degree or 45 degree angles relative to their enemy. And when they do this, they get bashed. So not only do you open your... this head is like rolling away from this guy. So not only do I get bashed here when I get too close to him, but I open myself up to a counterattack. So that tight angle when we cut in at like 30 to 45 degrees, do not do sideways power attacks that way. You're just going to waste stamina. You're going to open yourself up to a counterattack. The correct way to do a power attack from the side is to cut out at like a 90 degree angle, like maybe like 80 through 100 degrees, let's say. And then at the last second when your character is about to swing, cut directly back to the enemy at a super sharp angle towards them. And this way, your character will get the wind-up animation finished when they're out of range of the bash, and then they'll cut in right as the blade is slashing. So let's try that against this guy here. So we're going to cut out and then in. And then look at that. Instant kill right there. And the reason that worked is because I cut out, and then when I cut in, he went for the bash, but it was too late. So he dropped his guard, and then my power attack hit him, and it killed him in a single hit. Aw, hi horsey. This horse is like, oh, corpses. He's like taking a piss on these bodies right here. He doesn't give a fuck. I think it's actually a lady horse. I think all the horses in Skyrim are ladies, except for, I think Frost is not a lady horse. I think it mentions that that's actually a, what's it called? Like a stallion, a male horse. And there's another horse, I think that's a guy. We'll adopt her in a second. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about power attacks. That way, when you see me in future episodes using sideways power attacks, you have a sense of how to work those. So don't cut in at these 30 or 45 degree angles. Cut out at like 90 degrees or more, and then cut in hard at a right angle at the last second, and then you'll slash them in that little window before they can bash. Okay, before we adopt our horse, let's loot a few items here. Let's grab some alchemy ingredients, and let's come over here, and we're actually going to summon some more bandits, and we'll put some more of this power attacking concept into practice. So there's some more loot here, and I'll talk about it in a second. But there's also some bandits that are going to come and reinforce their buddies from over that little ridge there. And as soon as I interact with this chest, they're going to do that. So let's pop a potion of stamina regeneration. Let's also get our mage armor going here, just so we can keep leveling that up. Okay, then let's interact with this chest here. I always try to pick the lock on this before the bandits get there. Oh no! Oh, I'm so close! No! I'm not gonna get it! Okay, so here's the bandits. Look at this. Oh fuck, it's like 5 bandits right here. So let's let these guys come in. We're gonna quickly... Jesus Christ, I got bashed a bunch right there. But that's okay, because I'm gonna run down these archers really quickly. Okay, so let's move around here. I'm actually gonna jump up here because I just need to flank this archer and kill her. Okay, so we took some bashes, but it was nothing super scary. So let's use a health crude potion. Let's let these guys overextend and we'll work them down. So 3v1 right here. Let's angle on the axe guy first because he's going to overextend and we'll be able to follow up and kill him. So let's kind of go in. Let's bait a swing. And let's kill that guy with a counter swing. Let's do the same thing. This guy's actually really far away, so I'm going to come in here and get the bash interrupt on him. Kill him, quickly transition towards this guy. Now let's use some sideways power attacks. So we'll cut out and then in. Get the hit, follow up, kill him with a slash right there. Okay, that was super, super clean. The only time it got a little dicey was when we were back on this table here and we got like our blood all over the table when that guy bashed us. But that was a very clean fight, so let's kind of recap that. So typically only 3 bandits spawn here, but I have that more spawns randomized mod, so 5 bandits spawn, which was like kind of way more than I thought would spawn. I thought the melee bandits would converge quicker, but one of them kind of lingered back, so my hope had been that they would come at me from both sides, and then I would just jump on the table and run down the archers. But then they kind of like, these two flanked me and this guy kind of like hung out over here, so I didn't really have a good opening. So I ended up having to kind of jump on the table in a different direction. I got clipped by a mace, not the end of the world. Then I ran down the archers, killed those archers pretty quickly. After I killed this first archer, I think it was this guy right here, I chopped his head off. I realized that I was still like getting pursued by these other bandits, and I kind of like ran up here to reset. And then this lady pursued me with a dagger, and I didn't even worry about blocking or bashing her because daggers just don't hurt that much, so I just slashed and killed her. And then I reset to fight the other 3 people. Then the technique that I did on the 2-handed axe guy, which you saw me use in the 2nd episode, is I kind of like darted in, baited him into swinging, and then after he swung, I moved back in and slashed and finished him off with a single hit. Then what happened is the Khajiit got kind of like decided to taunt me or something over here and like left his buddy out to dry. So I just waited until I saw a bash interruption on him, bash interrupted and killed him, and then repositioned towards the final guy, which was the Khajiit. And then for that final Khajiit, wherever the fuck his corpse went, here it is, it's right here. Maybe it was, yeah, it was this guy right here. Ribisha. That's a great name for a Khajiit, honestly. This guy right here, I did a nice little sideways power attack, cut in at the last second and staggered him. And then because I have great sword focus, I was able to get a quicker, because I have 10% attack speed bonus with great swords, a quicker non-power attack follow-up to kill the Khajiit while they were recovering from the bash. So overall, super clean fight, kind of like a very textbook way of dealing with 3 enemies at once, or like doing a 5v1. Okay, let's loot these bandits super quickly. I'm only gonna loot the valuable stuff as always, like the stuff that has a value per weight threshold of 20 or higher. Then let's come over here and loot the rest of the items in this little Skooma outpost. Grab some alchemy ingredients here, some more alchemy ingredients in these barrels. And then I'll also grab this pickpocketing skill book. We probably won't use pickpocketing, but just in case we end up deciding to do like some thieves stuff or thieves guild stuff, we'll have that option. Grab some skooma, grab some alchemy ingredients, grab a poison, finish off picking this chest. One of these days I'm gonna lockpick this chest before the bandits come. But I'm so bad at lockpicking that it's unlikely to be today. Oh, I'm so close. Yay, 2nd try. I also heard my character's thirsty, so I'll get her a little bit of water. Let's grab that coin purse. Get a little bit of water. Let's have a little bit of cooked wolf meat. A little kind of funny, like, environmental lore detail here is this letter that's addressed to Akari, who is the Khajiit merchant that wanders, I think, around, like, Riften and Dawnstar is where she goes. But she is also a Khajiit skooma dealer. Not saying that as a stereotype, I'm saying that because she literally has skooma and moon sugar in her inventory and she will buy it from you. Literally a skooma dealer. Anyway, these skooma dealers here, like, yo lady, you're watering our product down, we've got a line and a better option, and they just kind of like are gonna threaten to take her to the cops. Honestly, that's not the sort of threat you should be making. A Skooma dealer is how you get killed. Alright, let's finish looting these people. Let's hop on our horse. Funny thing about when we hop on our horses, particularly when we're stealing horses for the first time, is even though this horse is owned by a bunch of Skooma dealers, technically it's marked as owned by them, so we have no horses stolen right now. But as soon as we get onto our new horse, we now have a new stolen horse. I don't know why this is marked as like a stolen horse. I feel like this is something the future versions of Wildlander should just patch, but it might just be an engine limitation. Alright, anyway, now that we actually have this horse as ours, we're gonna ride her over to the next closest cell and adopt her. And the closest cell to us right now happens to be this little, like, I think it's called like Whiterun Tower or something there, like White Watch Tower. And it's just like a little like guard outpost. There's some bandits here fighting some Whiterun guards, and like Tani doesn't give a shit about that. If these bandits kill the guards, that's their problem. Tani's not gonna help out the cops. But Tani is gonna go adopt this horse. Oh no, horsey is scared by the violence. Okay, so our horse right here, I've already picked out a name for her, which is going to be Sergio, which is the Dunmer word for friend, which is just like a really cutesy name for our horsey companion here. Also has like some Lord of the Ring Gandalf vibes of like, what is the Elvish word for friend? And it's like, well, in the Dunmer tongue, it's Sergio. And then while those guards and bandits are still fighting each other, let's just dump a little bit of these excess items onto Sergio so we can save a little bit of carry weight in our inventory. I always like to leave my gold on my horse as well, just so that way I can save my gold a little bit more effectively. If it's in my inventory, I tend to spend it all the time. Okay, let's get on our horse. I think all the bandits are probably dead. Let's see if there's anything to loot though. Like, even though Tani's not going to run in there and help out the guards, she'll happily loot whoever's left behind. Alright, nothing super great here. It always feels a little bit weird, like, looting all of the Whiterun guard uniforms while, like, we're in Whiterun hold. Like, I feel like someone would ask questions if we came there with, like, the Whiterun guard cuirass. I also feel like there's some guards around here. Like, yeah, these dudes would not be happy if I was looting the body of their friend. So I'm just not going to loot the body of their friend. Just get out of here. Okay, I think we're still doing good on time, so I'm just going to race Sergio down to the Battleborn farm to beat up Gwendolyn. Oh, it looks like Gwendolyn's actually, like, walking away from the farms. Let's go and get her on the road. We'll go beat her up, then we'll go do White River Watch, and that'll be the end of the episode. I feel like I probably took a little bit too much time earlier in this episode, like doing some commentary on like Hunterborne. Like, what is this guy doing? Oh my god! Oh no, he hit my horse! Oh fuck you, lady, what are you doing? Oh my god, I can't believe you hit Sergio. Oh my god, lady, you are so fucking dead. You hit Sergio and staggered her. Okay, let's use our sideways power attack to fuck this lady up. So we're gonna go sideways, then we'll cut in. Oh my god, I totally missed that. Let's try again. Sideways, then cut in. There's our hit, follow up. Oh my god, she's still not dead. Oh, fuck this lady. We're just gonna do a fucking like charging power attack. What's up, lady? Get fucking wrecked. Oh my god. Sergio, baby, are you okay? Oh, baby girl. Oh, I can't believe this fucking lady just like chopped my horse. Fuck your couch. Oh my god, I can't believe she did that. What a jerk. I got really scared there for a second because she staggered the horse and I thought she was about to kill our horse. Ugh, I don't know what this lady's story is. Her name is Simple Thelestris. Yeah, she is real simple attacking my horse like that. I'll take the Dwarven Gauntlets though. We're not going to use those right now. Technically they're better than our Steel Gauntlets, but holy shit did these look stupid. Some fucking Thanos Gauntlets here. I don't really want Tani to be running around wearing the Infinity Gauntlets, so I'm just going to save those for later. Once we get a full set of Dwarven armor, we'll probably use these, but until then I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, screw you, lady. I'm just going to run over your corpse right there. Yeah, get run over. God, that was super scary when she staggered my horse. I really thought that, like, she'd killed my horse for a second. That was going to make me super, super sad. Sergio is made of tougher stuff, but this does emphasize that we have to get some armor for Sergio because crazy fucking bandits are apparently going to attack my horse. Okay, let's see where Gwendolyn got off to. God, Gwendolyn's really far away. She like ran all the way down there. If you don't like the GPS markers on the map and you're just like feeling that's not very immersive for you, you can always use the clairvoyance spell to go to your quest objectives, but in the interest of time I'm not going to bother with that because like we're already kind of running late on this episode and I just want to get to the last dungeon. Where the fuck is she? She's like way over there. Aw, really pretty skybox though. Blood red. Perfect. Tanny's favorite. Okay, I feel like this has got to be her. Are you Gwendolyn?
Is that magic?
No, this is not
Careful,
Gwendolyn. This is
please.
Alfhild Battleborn. Where the fuck is Gwendolyn? Gwendolyn's like over here. Gwendolyn, where are you? Someone wants to beat you up and I am just the messenger. Is this her? This looks like a Gwendolyn. Person's got Gwendolyn vibes to me.
Yes.
There we go. I love how in Skyrim in the Companions quest line, like they are equal opportunity brawlers. They will brawl you regardless of age, gender, race, doesn't fucking matter. You could be an old man, a young child, they will brawl you. In fairness, I've never seen them actually send me to brawl a kid, but definitely they'll have you brawl like people who are visibly teenagers as well as people who are clearly like 90 years old. Gwendolyn looks pretty hardy though. I don't feel too bad about beating her up. I also love when I play heavy armor characters. I don't even bother dodging. We just fucking rock 'em, sock 'em robots. Do like a power attack here. We just fucking go into town. I love this. Just like this roadside brawl in the rain. Outside this like brew pub over by the Whiterun border. This is fantastic. This is peak heavy armor brawling right here. This is just like a fucking bloodbath. Honestly, Gwendolyn did pretty well right there, given that she's completely unarmored and I'm in full heavy armor.
You got me.
God, and she's such a good sport about it too.
Fine, I'll take care of it. Just please leave me alone.
Okay, sorry Gwendolyn. Not personal, just business. Okay, so we beat her up for the companions. Now let's finish out the episode and do White River Watch. So White River Watch is the lair of Hajbar Ironhand. He's kind of like a minor bandit celebrity, like his name comes up in other bandit camps. If you go to the Whiterun sewers, which get added to the game as part of Wildlander, he sent like a crack team of bandits to kidnap the Jarl's kids, and like they mention him. Honestly, Hajbar is kind of a scumbag. If you take the carriage to Whiterun, sometime the carriage driver makes a remark about how like, oh, you can see old Hajbar up on White River Watch as well. Before we clear out White River Watch though, let's use some of our food items that we have on us. Let's definitely use this beef stew if nothing else. I'll use a lavender honey dumpling as well, because there are some mages that can spawn in here. Now I'm just going to leave the rest of these items on my horse because I don't really need to bring these with me. Let's get some mage armor going for this initial fight. And then we'll go fight the bandits outside. Tends to be like, I don't know, like 2 to 4 bandits out here, depending on like how unlucky we get with the spawns. So we'll deal with these guys, then we'll head inside and kill the rest of them. We got this guy here with a battle axe. I think there's an archer that's probably up on that ledge. Let's just like lure this battle axe guy down here and we'll just bash, interrupt, and kill him. That guy died really quick. That was super easy. We got this person here with a bow. It looks like 2 people with a bow. I'm actually going to hit the crossbowman first because he's going to be way scarier. So that guy's dead here. Where the fuck is the other person's down here? I always prioritize crossbows to regular bows because crossbows have way more armor penetration. I'm surprised I didn't get the knockdown on that guy. I kind of like butchered his body though. A little bit of a delay. Oh my god, his limbs are just like rolling down the hill. Whoa, it's really gross. That was weird. I definitely like hit him and it didn't register the knockdown. He managed to shoot me. Didn't deal that much damage, that's not a big deal. So the first guy we killed, this like lightly armored guy with the battle axe, his name is Rodolph Rednose, and Rodolph Rednose is this like fucking asshole bandit who keeps playing pranks on the blind uncle of Hashvar Ironhand, and all of this is documented in this note that's on him. It's so bad that they're just like, you know, fucking with this poor blind guy that like Hashvar has appointed to be in charge of security. I don't know, I say this now, but realistically Tanny's about to probably murder the poor blind uncle, so I shouldn't like pretend to be too torn up about it. Well, let's go inside and kill him. And then as sort of a tactical note here, the reason I ran down this crossbowman first is I really recommend in your playthroughs that you prioritize crossbow people, because crossbows just hit so much harder than regular bows. They have much more armor penetration. They are slower, so you can generally charge them a lot quicker. But if they hit you and start dealing damage, you can really notice those bolts just kind of like punch right through your armor. Okay, let's quickly get our healing aura going, because I feel like it's probably worn off by now. We have no more healing aura. Okay, so let's get our healing aura up. Let's get our armor back on. And I'm also going to quickly use our mortar and pestle to make a fortify stamina regeneration potion to clear out this dungeon. Okay, let's head inside and cut through the bandits at White River Watch. This is not a super difficult bandit dungeon. Like, you're guaranteed to encounter one bandit mage, sometimes more if you have other mods added. And there's a lot of narrow hallways that you can use to your advantage, but if you use the narrow hallways incorrectly, they can actually be used against you, so we'll talk about that in a second. It's the blind uncle.
Rodolph?
Rodolph!
That you?
Is that you? I love how in like my previous Akai playthrough, Akai, who was just like not a very clever lady, was just like, nope, he's dead, you're next, partner. I feel like Tanny's a little bit more subtle and be like, yeah, it's me, it's Rodolph. Anyway, we're just gonna pretend that we're Rodolph here, and Ulfr is totally gonna fall for this.
Better not keep him waiting.
Poor Ulfr. I feel like on some characters I don't kill Ulfr, but Tanny is not one of those characters. Tanny is totally gonna murder this guy. Tanny is just not gonna leave this armed bandit sitting here at his sentry post if she kills the rest of them. She is not gonna take chances. So as with Gwendolyn, sorry buddy, it's not personal, only business. Oh god, his fucking head went fucking flying and landed on his book. Oh, it's so gross. Oh, poor Ulfr. Oh, the best part about this is his book right here has like nothing inside of it. It's called Ulfr's book and it's totally empty. I always take this as a souvenir. And then now is a little bit of a lore, like a little like incidental detail. The cover is normally just like stained by default. But I think it like makes even more lore sense that it's all stained up now that like we literally had his head bounce off of the fucking book. Poor guy. It's a violent game. Okay, let's grab a few of these alchemy ingredients because I'm actually not going to run back this way. I'm going to probably jump down the side of the mountain to get out of here. Okay, so we got all those alchemy ingredients, or at least we got a few of those. Let's start clearing through the dungeon. I'm going to use my mage armor over here really quickly. I hope no one hears this. Then we'll go fight the rest of these bandits. So the narrow hallways here can be used to our advantage because we can funnel enemies into them and kill them one at a time. We can also get stuck in them. Okay, let's— oh shit, that's a mage. Let's not charge into this narrow hallway against a mage, because if this mage has like powerful AoE spells, we're gonna get killed. Come on, lady. Okay, so she's running away. I really don't want to run down this fucking hallway against the mage. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna summon a spirit wolf down this hallway. And the reason we're gonna do this is this is gonna bait the fire of the mages and the archers. And now we can just fucking kill this guy with a power attack. Or I'm just gonna miss fucking horribly. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, he's running away. It's kind of a fiasco. Okay, those guys are dead. I have no fucking— oh, so the lady with the greatsword is dead too. I guess the wolf got her. God, I missed like 2 power attacks there. That was super, super sloppy. Alright, it turned out this bandit mage didn't have a lot of really scary scrolls on him, but just in case I didn't want to run down this narrow hallway, because if he had like a scroll of Ice Storm or something and he blasts us right here at the entrance to this hallway, we have nowhere to go, and it's just gonna probably kill us in one blast. So I just ended up playing that safe. But then it was just, like I said, kind of a fiasco of like the wolf getting in the way and then like me missing the power attack. That's okay. It all worked out in the end. Okay, let's keep moving here. Let's reapply mage armor and let's go fight the last wave of bandits in this next room. So for this last wave of bandits, like the smart thing to do is probably to sneak up on them. So that way you can like get a little bit closer to them. Not all races can sneak though, so like you might not be able to do this in your own playthrough. But I am gonna sneak as Tani to see if I can get as close as possible. And then at the last minute when they spot me, I'm gonna try to run past the melee bandits and close the gap on the ranged bandits. Okay, so now they heard me. Oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to get there in time. Darn it. Okay, so these guys are now like, this is where the narrow hallways are kind of working against us. It's like I can't really get past these guys, but I can finish that guy with a power attack because he overextended. So now what we'll do is we'll let this lady shoot her crossbow bolt, kind of dodge that. Shit, there's another fucking melee bandit here, Jesus. Okay, so that lady's dead. We managed to get a nice little quick block here. Now we're just gonna run down these crossbowmen before they can shoot me anymore. I don't know if there's any more up here, so let's just like charge up here, and if there are any others, we'll get in their business and kill them. Oh, looks like that was the last of them. Whew, that was kind of scary there. We actually took a little bit of damage from the crossbows, but none of the melee people really hit us. So this was a great example of where the narrow hallways kind of worked against us because we snuck as close as we could, but we couldn't quite clear through this gap before the melee people filled the gap. We could have tried to run past them to reach the crossbowmen up there, but I was worried that if I tried to run through this gap that they would have hit me with a power attack around here, so I just backed off and let them come to me. Thankfully though, one of the guys, I think it was this guy here with the iron battle axe, he overextended on a power attack, which meant that I could just stand here and kill him with a power attack of my own. And then I was able to kind of gradually work this guy down. He's got some nice orcish gauntlets, I'll just grab those. I'll use those in the last fight against the boss, but realistically we're going to swap these out in a second because Hajvar Ironhand has steel gauntlets that are even better than this, so we're going to use his gauntlets, but we'll use these orcish gauntlets for the fight up ahead. And then after that there was actually another melee bandit that came around the corner, which I hadn't expected. Like I expected that it was just this lady with the crossbow. And then I saw this person here, so I kind of like killed her really quickly and then refocused on her, but didn't take too much damage, so kind of played that tight. And then these guys here were shooting us with crossbows, but honestly when you're fighting against crossbows, like sometimes you just have to get hit with the bolt in the face and there's nothing you can do about it. And you just gotta rely on your armor to protect you. And that's because, like we've talked about in previous episodes, we have this rank 5 ranged resistance, so like it's okay if the crossbows hit us. If we didn't have that, I probably would have been significantly more cautious about going around that corner. Okay, so that's it for all the bandits inside of White River Watch. Let's go fight the boss himself. Hajvar Ironhand always spawns with random armor and a random quality weapon. So sometimes he's super scary. He'll have like full dwarven armor and he's got like a fucking like orcish warhammer and some shit, and he hits super fucking hard and he takes a lot of damage. And then other times he's just like kind of a loser in iron armor and he dies in like 2 hits. So we'll see what version of Hajvar Ironhand we get today. Hopefully it'll be a fun fight to end the episode, but if we just butcher him, I guess that's fine too. It's kind of on brand for Taniesi as well. Let's apply some mage armor just in case. Let's get our heavy armor back on. And then I'll grab some of these alchemy ingredients and then we will head out and we will go fight Mr. Hajvar Ironhand. I feel like in this fight in the past, I've definitely like gotten too cocky though, and he's come in swinging strong with his warhammer and killed me really quickly. Okay, it looks like he has like a good helmet but like really shitty armor, so this is not going to be a super difficult fight. He's just like kind of big and slow. Like, look at this dumb guy. Boop. Probably kill him in 2 hits. He's actually still in it. He's still in the fight. Alright, Hajvar, you got this, buddy. He does not got this. Oh, he's kind of a clown. Like I said, he can sometimes have better armor, and this fight is a little bit more rewarding. Honestly, he did have like steel plate helmet and boots. It was just his iron cuirass. It's just like such a bad item. Like if he had a better breastplate, there would have been a better fight. That's okay, Hashvar. He did his best. As far as loot goes, we're definitely going to take the steel plate helmet because that's a strict upgrade to our Imperial helmet that we were wearing. And like steel plate helmets I think look so good on Dunmer characters because like their red eyes show through that little slit in the armor. It looks super, super cool. And then Hashvar also has the Iron Hand gauntlets, which are steel gauntlets that give you 10% bonus to two-handed damage. So we're definitely going to take those, and we're going to use those as well. And then I'll grab these potions here. Let's grab this bag of coins. Then let's grab Amren's sword. Grab some robes, and like some of this other stuff as well. Nice little steel plate cuirass. I think it's really funny that like Hashvar has the steel plate cuirass as treasure, but then he's using this like shitty iron cuirass here. I don't know, maybe it doesn't fit him. It's like Dunmer size, doesn't fit his big burly Nordic body. Alright, anyway, that's kind of it for the episode for today. So we got a lot done today. We didn't get to Valtheim Towers, but we still managed to end the episode with a bunch of fun, rewarding bandit fights, and we also got to talk about some tactics using power attacks. So I hope everyone enjoyed the episode here. Had a fun time watching Tani join the companions, then murdering some bandits and creating lots of gore. Next episode, we're going to head over to Valtheim Towers and clear that out. Then we'll head back to Whiterun, turn in some quests. And we'll probably end next episode by fighting some more bandits. So we'll try to always have like at least 1 or 2 big bandit fights every episode to keep the episodes interesting. If you have any questions or feedback, let me know below or come find me on Discord. And if not, then I'll see you all next time as we rejoin Tani for more of her permadeath violent escapades. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.